to Milkshake Story Den with me, Jen, and, of course, Wiggly Win. Hello, Wiggly Win. Are you ready for a story? Are you ready for a story? Well, in that case, you need to grab some cushions, maybe a blanket, and ask a grown-up to help you build your very own den, because you need to get comfortable for today's story, which is Boom Bang Royal Meringue by Sally Doran and Rachel Saunders. Young Princess Hannah grew up in a palace with her father, King Monty, and mother, Queen Alice. She always said thank you and pardon and please. She ate all her cabbage and parsnip and peas. I'm ever so proud, said the king to his wife. She's the finest young lady I've met in my life. The queen quite agreed, so they planned it together. Their daughter deserved the best birthday ever. Happy birthday, my dear. What a day, said the king. We've bought you this marvellous, wonderful thing. She ripped off the paper and pulled off the bow. What is it? She asked. Why, my dear, don't you know? It was big, it was gold, it had buttons and cogs, it had hundreds of dials and switches and knobs. And just look what's piped on the front, said the queen. The marvellous magical pudding machine. Thank you, said Hannah. The king and queen smiled. They really had raised the most wonderful child. That evening, they threw her a big birthday ball in the palace's fabulous banqueting hall. Every young person from far and from wide was invited to dine by the princess's side. Well, now that the party is in full swing, bring forth the pudding machine, said the king. So the big gold machine was wheeled into view to the sounds of wow and look and ooh. The princess played with the buttons and knobs. She spun all the dials and turned all the cogs. With a boom and a pop, bright sparks filled the air, and out shot a glorious chocolate eclair. Then with a crash and a bang and a fizzle, out shot a pudding with caramel drizzle. Yummy! Well done, my dear, said the king. What a show. Now why don't we let all your friends have a go? But the princess climbed down straight away and said, No! That present is mine! The young royal howled, and she threw her tiara and pouted and scowled. She thumped her fists and stamped on the floor and threw all her puddings and cakes at the door. Something's quite wrong. She's ill, the king said, as a bowl of rice pudding sailed right past his head. No, said the queen, brushing cream from her hair. It seems we've forgotten to teach her to share. The young guests were giving the buttons a bang till out shot a huge pie with blackbirds that sang. The crowd said, goodness, and my, what a thing! And the princess stopped crying and smiled at the king. Just look at that pie. Oh, wait for me, Hannah said, as she pushed her tiara back onto her head. She played with her friends, and to her surprise, together they made better puddings and pies. A jelly appeared with a boom and a pop, with fireworks shooting right out of the top. Then out flew a pudding, shaped like a boat, and a gingerbread castle, complete with a moat. The big gold machine then coughed, shook and spluttered. Good gracious, it's bulging, the king and queen muttered. With a boom and a bang came a sparkling pink cloud, and a hush spread through all the guests in the crowd. For a giant meringue, almost 20 feet tall, now sat on the floor of the banqueting hall. The crowd all cheered. Well, perhaps we should eat, said the queen to the king as she got to her feet. Fetch some meringue, said the king. Ah, yes, and some cream and some berries. We'll have eat and mess. So straight up the sugary face Hannah sped and carved out some pieces as big as her head. A wonderful time was had by them all as laughter and joy filled the banqueting hall. Just look at the time. It's late, the king said. It's time Princess Hannah was off to her bed. So she thanked all her guests and curtsied and bowed. What a charming princess she is, said the crowd. From that moment, Hannah was as good as can be, always sharing her cakes when her friends came to tea. And as for the meringue, well, from what I hear, to eat the whole thing took the kingdom a year. Well, I thought that book was truly scrumptious. What did you think, Wiggly Win? Yeah, delicious. Join us next time for more Milkshake Story Den.